here and showing up just shows us how much you really want this and how much you're prepared to do. So thank you so much for making the effort to get on here. My only advice is, who else could you invite here from your team? Because if you want your team to grow, you need to be getting other people on this call. Okay? It's not, don't go and invite product users or anything, but people, once you've had the conversation about earning income, about what's possible with Isagenix, they're the ones you invite onto the call. All right. So I just want to go through a few things from Peak Performers New Zealand. All right. So we could be having a new dairy-free flavored shake coming soon.
Ooh, new dairy-free flavored shake coming soon.
Who's that?
That's probably me.
Hang on. Can everybody mute out, please? All right. Beautiful. All right. So that is exciting. But do you know what is even more exciting than new products? Urena and Rosanna, I'm laughing at you too. Do you know what's even more exciting than new products, guys? Is listening to Jim and Kathy and Eric. So the founders of our company, and Eric, the son, in New Zealand, being in just a small, intimate space with them for like 3 days. Kathy just said to me, if there's anything that she can do to help me, like, she'll do absolutely anything. Guys, if you have a networker, someone who is a networker, maybe in another company, maybe wanting to have a look at Isagenix, Kathy will get on the phone to them, all right? So that is something really interesting for you guys to just keep that ace up your sleeve. What I loved about these guys is who gets a little bit frustrated by technology? Just a little bit, yeah? So I get a little bit frustrated by technology, just that I'm like, Isagenix maybe isn't as fast as I want it to be. Well, Jim and Kathy said that when they started Isagenix, the iPhone wasn't even around, all right? Apple computers weren't even taking discs, CDs yet, DVDs and CDs yet. They were taking the old school discs, all right? So they're spending about $30,000 to get technology up to speed. Okay, that was amazing. The next thing is, so there's so many new and exciting things coming. The next thing is waste. Zero waste by 2028. What does that mean for you guys? It means that you're partnering with a company who cares about the environment, and that is huge. And your customers and your leaders will care about that, all right? So it's so important. Imagine if Isagenix didn't care about that and you were partnering with them. So that just says so much to me, all right? So what I want to talk to you guys about as well, there's a few things before we get into the nuts and bolts of tonight's call. Okay, so the first thing is the 14-day shred has finished, all right? Who did it? All right, if you guys can, beautiful, I love seeing that. What I want you guys to do over the next couple of days is post your before and afters. Make sure you use the weight loss disclaimer. Make sure you jump on there and support everybody as well. The biggest thing for you guys is encouraging your cleansers to share their results. All right. I'm going to post a few things over the next few days as well. Keep a lookout, and then we'll do some prizes towards the end of the month. Your 14-day shred should set you up for this, the next couple of weeks and months. All right. The reason why is it gives you something to talk about. All right. You should all be feeling incredible. You all look incredible. You're glowing. You're now about to hit the party season. So don't let all that go to waste, and make sure you're having great conversations. All right. Actually, just before I go any further, does everybody have the IsaLife app on their phone? Charmaine? IsaLife app? Charmaine's mum? Yep. Christine, you do. Sarah, Tony, Melina, I know you do. Alicia, can you download the IsaLife app? You've got it? All right. Everyone here's got it? All right, beautiful. Your next job is making sure your cleansers all have that app. Retention goes up astronomically if you have that app. So make sure you are getting all of your cleansers to get that app. All right. Okay. What is next? Anyone got any questions about top achievers, peak performers? Anyone want to know anything? Okay.
Share some highlights. What excited you the most?
Yeah, what excites me the most is knowing that everybody could be on top achievers next year. They're gonna take out the millionaire and the top 25 rankings, and they're gonna move the people there that are doing the work. Okay, so there's going to be a formula, and the formula is basically this: how many enrollments you have per month versus how many rank advancements you have per month versus your cycles going up. So this is amazing for all of you guys because it's called a leader in action formula, and we're going to train on that over the coming weeks and months. What you guys need to focus on is enrolling and moving people to consultant to manager and so on, okay? And we are going to teach all of you guys that, all right? There is absolutely no reason why you could all be on this trip, all right? The other thing is that we are not doing an ISA Derby to Nashville next year. We are going to take double the amount of people to, I'm guessing, an Asian country like a Bali, a Cambodia, or a Thailand, something like that that's cheap and cheerful, because Max, the general manager, he wants more of you to experience an Isagenix trip, okay? And so I think that is absolutely amazing. All right, so celebration tickets, guys, you have to keep moving. You have to keep pushing with celebration and getting as many people there as you can. You need to be coming, and you need to be bringing as many people as you can. All right. Now I'm going to go back to what Greg said before, and this is the number one question we got asked. All right. And then so tonight's going to be a writing night. All right. So the question is, everyone get a piece of paper and a pen. On the top of the piece of paper, I would be successful in this business if ... So I'm going to write it again in the chat. All right. I would be successful in this business if I ... So I'm actually going to give you guys some time. Do you like that?
I'm writing it down.
I'm actually going to give you some time, all right? And I'm going to let you go for it, okay? Because these things that you write on this are the stories holding you back. Now, if you're brand new or you don't have any stories, that is absolutely amazing. You can start writing names for your list, okay?
If I, yeah. So I would be successful in this.
All right, it's okay, Irina, I've muted you. It's fine. So I would be successful in this business if I ... All right, I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes, all right, and just brain dump. No one needs to see it. You don't need to share it. I'm just going to share some of the ones. If I was enrolled by somebody else, if I had a more supportive team, if Isagenix had better tools, if I lived somewhere different, if I didn't have any kids, if my husband supported me. What other ones were there? If Isagenix had more products, if Isagenix had Australia had the American products. What ones can you think of?
If I was thinking like if I had a VA.
If I had a VA, if I wasn't on an inside leg, all excuses, absolutely. All right. Urena. Yep.
So are we like supposed to write down excuses that we like to?
All the stories in your head. Absolutely. Yep. Write them all down. Go for it. On that piece of paper.
Paige.
Yeah.
Good evening. You just said before about if I was on an inside leg, what does that? How does that restrict, or why would that be a reason?
It doesn't matter. So basically, some people, depending on who they're enrolled by. So another way to say that is if the person enrolled me supported me better or was building the business. Okay, there's no problem. Okay, no problem at all. All right, for everybody jumping on, I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pen. At the top of the piece of paper and the pen, write what I've just put in the chat. I would be successful in this business if I ... All right, and what this was the question they asked us at Top Achievers, Peak Performers in New Zealand. And we basically want you to brain dump all the stories, all the excuses, anything you think that's holding you back, okay? Louisa, you're absolutely amazing. You don't have any issues. And you just write a list. Tell me where all your people are at, all right? You're looking good, by the way. Like, you don't even look like the same person. You're going to love our guest speaker tonight, Louisa. All right, so has everybody got some? Yeah. Awesome. So with the list that you've written, guys, and I know that some of you did this today with Greg personally, all right, what I want you to do is after the call or whenever, I want you to write down at the bottom of the list what the actual truth is. Right, we're not going to do it now because I'm going to hand it over to Meredith and she's going to share her story. But I want you to actually write underneath each single one of them what the truth is. All right, because they're all lies, they're all excuses, they're all stories. And it's absolutely amazing that they're just coming out, okay? All right, beautiful. All right. So now I have the absolute pleasure of introducing someone very special, and I'm sitting in her light. Come over here, all right? So this beautiful woman and I became friends. Now, this was not in the plan for the calls tonight, but hey, surprise. She is at my house. Surprise. This beautiful lady is Meredith. She's from San Diego, California, America. I met her, when did I meet you?
2014 Top Achievers, right? Maui?
2015.
15, okay.
Top Achievers in Maui.
Mm-hmm.
So she was a global top achiever in Maui in 2015. She's been in Isagenix for 7 years. She has 2 young children and a young husband. They are traveling Australia at the moment. They've just flew into Melbourne. This girl is a powerhouse connector, all right, like amazing connector. And she's a mum. She works Isagenix full-time from home. And she's just got so much knowledge that she can share with all of you guys. And I would love first that she's going to share her story. And I know that you're going to get so much value out of that. And then I'm going to get her to share her, top business building tips with you guys. We're just going to basically free mic it. If you have got a question, you can put it in the chat, all right? And if we have time at the end, we will absolutely answer that. So all the way from San Diego in California, Miss Meredith.
Hi, guys.
Oh, and another thing, she's a Start 1000 winner. So
And Start Ambassador.
and you're a Start Ambassador.
Yeah.
Hello, we have a Start Ambassador on the call, which is the 18 to 35. She's like, you know, she was picked in the top 10 of Start, basically, or the top 6 of Start last year. She's phenomenal. So I'm going to hand it over to her. Miss Meredith, can you tell them firstly about you and Isagenix and how you got started?
Yes. Okay. So I got started almost 7 years ago. In this March, it'll be 7 years. And that means, so my son is almost 10 and I have a 7.5-year-old. So my daughter was about 9 months old when I got started, and I had a 3-year-old running around, and I was miserable. I was so exhausted and I just needed something. I knew I needed something. I had watched this girl on Facebook look amazing. She had kids. She felt amazing. And I was like, she must be lying to people. Like, she's full on lying to people on Facebook. Just, there's no way motherhood can look like that. Like, there's no way. And I also knew what network marketing was. My mother-in-law has done over 15 different companies with network marketing. So we wanted nothing to do with network marketing because of what we had seen. And so, you know, my husband and I were talking, like, should we try this? And I was like, nah, she just wants our money. Like, we're not going to do this because she wants to make a buck off of us. She had reached out to me multiple times to say, hey, you know, I think you'd really benefit from this, because all of my Facebook posts were, I'm miserable. My daughter drank a Red Bull. Like, she's up all night, you know, all these different things. So it took me about a year of watching her, like less than a year of watching her, till I finally was like, I need something so bad. Something is wrong. Like, I need something. And we get a 30-day money back guarantee. So got started with my husband. We both did it together. We both did 2 weeks. So we split a 30-day system, which we actually had no idea there were other systems. We only knew about that one. So here's a tip. You guys, you have to tell everyone like the full story about what they can purchase, because truly, my husband said, he's like, if we would have known about the Business Builder, we would have bought it, because it's go big or go home. Like, you get your money back. So why wouldn't we have done that versus paying shipping twice in a month? It's stupid. So anyway, got the 30-day. Within 2.5 weeks, my husband and I felt lit up. I wanted to know, what the heck? Why did I feel this good? I needed to know why. So I went to work to figure that out. I'm like, okay, I need to like know what's in this nutrition. Like, why? I just don't understand. It's just this shake. It's just this, like, why would I feel this good eating this stuff, you know? So I loved the podcast, the Isagenix podcast. I really plugged into that. But aside from that, the people around me, and I'll go into this a little bit later, but the people around me saw like a true visible difference in the way I was acting towards people. Because I didn't need to lose a ton of weight. I lost a bit of my baby weight, but it was really who I was inside. I was the Walking Dead before, and then I was alive, and people thought I was on drugs. I had multiple moms come up to me at like preschool and ask if I was using drugs. And I was like, no, it's just this like nutrition, I don't know. And so those mothers wanted what I had. So it was very easy and organic for me to get people started. I wasn't weird about it. I was like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. You need it. You need it. You need it. And I called the people I love the most right away, my mother and my best friend. I was like, you have to do this. It's not a scam. This is going to change your life. But the girl who got me started, who, you know, like we were just saying, I would be successful if my upline would maybe put people under me. My upline's never put one person under me ever. I'm on an inside of an inside leg, or whatever you want to say. But she did offer me a ticket to Celebration 2012. So 3 months of me being on the product, I went to Celebration, and that event changed my life forever. Not only did I bring my best friend with me, and she built the business and enrolled my biggest business builder to date, but I mean, it changed my life. It built my belief in the nutrition, built my belief in the company, built my belief in myself. Yeah, it was everything. So if you are on the fence about getting to an event, or on the fence about bringing someone to an event,
Celebration we have New Year kickoff, the 19th of January in Melbourne. The
Oh,
week before is in Brisbane, and then a month later we have Celebration. So
why
they
did
all,
I not come then?
they,
I should have like come then.
they all need to come, and they all need to bring people, Meredith.
So this is the thing. I am a firm believer because I went to an event right away. Like I'm a firm believer in events and them building business. And I didn't go to my very first event alone. I called my best friend. She was already using the products. And I was like, listen, we lived in 2 different states. And so I said, listen, like, let's have a girls trip and let's just go. Like, we love this nutrition. Let's just like learn more about it, like learn the science. So I spoke her language for what she wanted, like what she would want to learn. And like, if you've done the color code, so I'm a yellow. So like yellows, I love to party. I love people. I want to know people, connect. So speak to their color and what they'll want. So I got her there. I was like, let's have a girls trip. So we roomed together. And she actually won one of our uplines contests at dinner, and they gave her like $500 cash. It was really fun, but you get to meet the people. It was just everything. So I've never ever gone to an event alone. I always bring at least one brand new person, always. I think it's critical, and I think that it's really important to put money back into your business. I was brand spanking new, you guys, and I didn't have the money to do this. I just had some PIBs here and there. I bought my best friend's event ticket. Mine was paid for, so I bought her event ticket. That was the smartest thing I ever did, you guys. Because I did that, she brought in my biggest business builder, who's a 6-star, who brought in, I think, 10 2-stars, 3-stars, and 4-stars. So like that, I mean, massive. It was brilliant that I did that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you just never know. And so events are non-negotiable. Like, I won't talk to you if you don't go to an event. It's so important.
She says I'm too nice talking to you guys that don't come to events.
I'm just saying, like, it's a waste of, it just shows that you're really
They're on the
here. Yeah. You're really here to, like, do something. So like, events are everything, and I would do everything in your power. You guys, it wasn't easy for me to go. I just finished nursing my daughter. I think she was 15 months old. And then my son was young. My husband had to take off work. It was not easy. And actually, before that event, I got violently ill and shouldn't even have gotten on the plane. But the second I landed, I believe it was totally the enemy, but the second I landed, I was completely fine and I was good to go. Like, it was amazing. So anyway, that's just my opinion. Events build your business. But can I go?
Yep, keep going. Tell me everything.
Okay, so here's the thing though. I am extroverted, and I share what I love proudly with people that I love. And I will look at them in the face and say, you need this because X, Y, Z. And so right away, I knew I didn't want to be an ugly network marketing salesperson, but I knew that I loved this. So that was my truth. So I called people who I genuinely, like, I don't know, like, I knew this would save their life. And I said, listen, you have to do this. You'll get your money back, but you have to do this. You have to trust me. Take that leap of faith, because this will save you, like, your body, your life. And so I really did push product. I do it different now, but like, it was all, whether you believe that in the business too, you're like, hey, listen, this is going to change your life financially. You have to do this with me. Just believe me, trust me, let's jump in. But with that conviction and that posture, because my life was truly changed. So I did that. But here's the thing. I also have enrolled like a lot of strangers. And we were just at the pool here, and I was telling Rachel, I'm like, I can't come down yet. I'm trying to get this girl. So here's the thing.
Can you imagine how possessive I am of my pool, by the way?
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
We haven't discussed that yet.
okay. So anyway, this woman is just there with a kid, and so our kids are playing, and it's great and it's fun. And so I was just like, all right, like, who are you? How long have you lived here? She's like, 3 days. I need to get out of here. And I was like, oh, okay. So we're just talking. Where are you from? Telling me where she's from. And we're talking about Australia because I'm new here. I want to know all the things, right? So I'm asking her so many questions, and she is just willing to tell me everything. So my whole goal is, for this conversation, is to find her on social media, because I know that Isagenix is probably not going to come up right now. There wasn't an opening for that, but there was an opening for me to get her information. So I said, oh my gosh, are you on Instagram? I would love for our sons, because they were bonding, our sons to chat, you know, and play video games together, like online or whatever. And so she's like, oh yeah, I am. Hey, and you can message me for different places to eat in Australia. I'm like, okay, perfect, awesome. Friended her right then on Instagram. So simple. That is your business card. She's now going to see my stories. She's now going to see my posts. It is critical that you do that. But there are other ways that you can do this too. If those of you who are moms, I'm speaking to moms really out there because that's all I really know. I literally built my business going from playdate to playdate to playdate. Okay. So if you going to the park, depending on how old your kids are.
If you're not a mum, you can do it in coffee shops.
Dog parks.
And if you're
coffee
a man,
shops.
I was going to say dogs. Yeah.
Dog parks. You could do the gym. You can do, yeah, like I just be really bold. You can do networking events like crafting, if you, whatever your niche is, like if you love surfing, if you love whatever.
So if you're looking to go for a swim, you go somewhere there's water. If you're looking for people, you go somewhere there is people. If you like to swim in clean water pools, you go to the pool. If you like to swim in the ocean, you go to the ocean. If you like to swim in dirty rivers, you go to the river. The same with people. Go where the people are who you want to enroll.
Yeah, so here's the thing. But then, yeah, okay, so let's say it's just a park. Okay, so you're going to the park, and I have my kids, so I always have product in my bag. So I have Waythins, I have a bar, whatever. I have Amped Hydrate. Typically, I carry my blender bottle. It does not say Isogenics. It's the greens, Ionics, and Amped Hydrate, and I mix it up, and everybody asks what I'm drinking, always. I don't say, oh, it's Isogenics, da-da-da. I say, girlfriend, I'm getting my 9 salads in one drink. My kids love it. Or, oh man, this is my mommy juice. These kids stress me out. This balances me. Feel like I'm at the spa. So I say these things that pique curiosity. One time I was cleansing and I had a cleanse, and this woman was like, what is that? It was just after a gym class. We're waiting to pick our kids up in the line. And I was like, oh girl, I'm burning my fat while I'm standing here talking to you. And she's like, what? Like, obviously I've seen her at the gym. She's working really hard, not getting results. So I said what she needed to hear. So she threw me her phone number. So just think of things that you can say that can pique people's interest, and you're not being really like that crazy salesperson. And it can be with the business as well. Like, you know, yeah, I'll give you an example in a minute. But so building your business at places that you love. But here's the thing. Here's how you get that second, for me as a mother, how I got that second touch. So I said, hey, you know what? Our kids are playing so well together. I would love, I was new in San Diego, so I'm new here. I would love to set up another play date with you if you're open at another park. You know, what days work for you? What times work for you? You guys, mothers and like, well, people are genuinely want friends. Like, people are, you know, I don't know if you've read the book, Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis, but she said the number one question she gets is, how do I make friends? You guys, people are begging for community. They are wanting friends. And I just genuinely want to hang out with people. So I say, hey, like, let's meet up, let's hang out. You can do other things too. Can I give like tips?
Go, give them all the
Okay,
tips.
I have had some really fun parties at my house without kids. So it's called clothing swaps. So everyone goes in their closets and they get a bunch of their clothes that don't fit anymore, which is a really good conversation. When your clothes don't fit anymore and you have to have a clothing swap. So you get your clothes that don't fit, too big, just all the clothes from the kids and the husbands, whatever. Invite everybody over. They are bringing their stuff as well. Everything is free. This clothing swap I had a photo booth, and one of the girls that came had lost 50 pounds with Isogenics. So she's in one of my dresses. She's like, I cannot believe this fits. And I'm like, okay, put on the dress that you brought. And so she's holding out her dress like this. Everyone's looking at her. Why is that dress so big? Why is she doing that? Is she making fun? I'm like, no, that's her old dress. She doesn't fit in it anymore. She's lost weight. People ask too, if you bring other Isogenics people, they'll say, oh, how do you know each other? How do you know each other? How do you, oh, Isogenics, oh, how do you, and so they're like, oh, like you're a real person. There's other people who do Isogenics. And the conversation's there. We also did something kind of fun at the clothing swap that I talked about before so that people wanted to come. I bought a lot of this protein ice cream. It's called Halo Top. And so I bought like all the flavors that they have. I'm like, let's taste test this really healthy ice cream. It wasn't about Isogenics, but every single person there left wanting to know more about Isogenics because of all the big clothes that were there. And about everyone was just like really intrigued. So doing things, inviting people to things, you can start a Bible study, you can start a book club. I would recommend it's a physical place where people need to go because they are longing for community and to be heard. So, I mean, with play dates, now this is kind of sneaky and I've never done it sneaky, but I invite people to my home and I always say, and I remember Audrey Moss has said this actually, she's like, hey, I'm making a shake for myself. It's a protein shake. Would you like one as well? I'm making some for my kids too. Would you like one? Here are the flavors. And she said, I would do this for anyone because it's like me serving them a sandwich. It is my food. So exact same thing. So I've done that. And people are like, they like a little hesitant. And then they watch me and I'm just like, because Rachel knows my shakes. They're like thick and so good.
I'm going to get her to make a shake tomorrow morning and I'm going to film it.
Video it.
For healthy living. It's next level.
Everyone asks. So I make these shakes really ice cream thick. And so they're like, oh yeah, actually I do want one. So I make them one every time. All right, what is this? Okay, I need to get this. Every single time, every single person who's come to a play date has enrolled. Every single person. Because they're automatically at a tasting, which our kids are just playing together, so it wasn't like anyway. And then I've had people come to my home. So like, if you notice, like be aware of your surroundings. If people are coming to your home to set up your cable, to set up your internet, to fix your air conditioning, you guys, they're people and they probably haven't eaten. So I always offer, hey, let me hook you up. You look exhausted. You look so sweaty. Can I make you something? I've made Amped Hydrate slushies this summer for my air conditioning guy. I made shakes. I gave him waffles and bars. He was there for 8 hours, you guys. I gave him so much stuff. My Vivint Solar lady, the solar girl, I enrolled her immediately because she was like, okay, yeah, let's do this. I need to buy this. She was so sick feeling until I gave her the food. So she felt amazing. So I think it's just really important to be a servant to people and to really figure out what the need is. And it could be friends. It could be finances. It could be just exhaustion. I enrolled my bartender because we had a lot in common. I kept asking her questions. We had a lot in common. So I asked her a question because she was pregnant. I said, hey, what's your plan? You're pregnant. Are you going to go back to work really soon? She's like, no, man, I don't even know what I'm going to do. And I was like, well, you were in luck because I actually help other mothers from home make like a significant second, or you can use whatever you want to say, like side hustle, full-time income, part-time income, being at home with their baby. And she's like, okay, I need more information. Turns out she knew what Isogenics was and used to sell it at a gym, but never was enrolled. So it was like, yeah. So just being very bold, offering that to people, and knowing that you have this gift, okay? So like if you're being weird, you have this gift and you're just offering it. If they say no, who cares? Whatever. It's like, would you like fries with that? No? Okay, you're not gonna go home and cry about it. So you've got this gift, you offer it to them. If they don't want it, fine. But you have to be offering the gift and do it from the top down, like Zach and Eden say, do the business first and then offer them the products because everyone needs one of them, both of them. But if you think that you are shy, if you think that like, oh, it's because you're so outgoing, Rachel's super outgoing, shy is actually like, you can not be shy. That doesn't mean anything. You can learn not to be shy. You can actually build that skill. It's uncomfortable, but it's a skill that you can learn. But I think it's important for you to, number one, be open and smile and say hello first. And number two, have your posture be very open instead of like crossed arms, open and welcoming, and then give a compliment immediately. Like that is everything. It brings walls down. Oh my gosh, where'd you get your earrings? Oh my gosh, your eyelashes are beautiful. Are those real? You know, always a compliment. Your kid is so nice. He's so sweet to my son. Oh my goodness. So that is everything. You're such a good mother. Look how good your son is. Like, oh my goodness, your mothering's amazing. Whatever. That's going to just, the mother's going to start beaming. She's going to want to be with you and hang out. So I don't know. I think that that's just, it's just what I do. And that's how I build my business. And yeah.
All right.
If there's anything else.
Did you guys take heaps of notes?
She's clapping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woohoo! Thank you so much.
Okay, so we're not finished yet, but the first thing I want you to do, can we show Meredith how we have it? Let's give her some love.
Oh, that's funny. I
Come
love
on,
it.
guys, the whole screen. Let's go. Yeah.
I love it.
How good is that? She just rocked up to my house 2 days ago, and I was like, team call. Literally about half an hour ago, I'm like, can you share your story on my team call? And I just know that you guys had to hear this. All right. So I would love first to see your takeaways go in the chat.
If you have questions,
All
you guys,
right.
any questions?
I want takeaways and questions in the chat. Now, Meredith, I've got a few questions
Okay.
for you. All right. So my first question is, I want to know what you love most about Isagenix.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, like, I love the products. Here's the thing, though. I love people. Like, that's obvious. Like, I'm in Australia. I'm visiting all the Isagenix Australians. I love people. I stayed for the culture and the people. So that's me.
Yep.
Like, that's
And
yeah.
and I know that you've got some kids, beautiful kids. I think Meredith is calling me. It's really
My
funny.
Instagram.
No, is it you? Meredith's Instagram is
I
actually
don't know.
calling
It's
me.
weird.
So the next thing I wanted to ask, you've got some kids. How do you manage your time with your children and your husband? Because I know that's one of the big questions with these guys. Now, even if you don't have kids, it's time management is so important. And I know I've just thrown this question on you, but hey.
No, it's
let's
good.
do it.
It's really good. And I'm going to be really, really honest with you guys. So it looks different in every stage of the children's life, right? So I built when my daughter was 9 months old, my son was 3. So during that time, you could literally see me running to a closet and locking myself in it because my kids would, the second you get on the phone, they want to scream, they want to pound. Like, it is so weird. You were just fine in front of the TV and now you need me. So like I would literally be running, locking myself in a closet for just like a few minutes to do a call or to cleanse coach or whatever. But I would try my best to use that time, my time wisely, build when they're awake with my kids. You build your business with your kids. You bring them with, my kids are the best network marketers. Like the best network marketers. And so they get me the people. I'm like, okay, go make some friends. Go make some friends. Yay. And so it's really great. But I'm meeting people at the park. This is the thing, you guys, because now my kids are in school. So I'm like, what do I do? How do I meet people? Like, I don't have my kids with me. You guys have to be using your kids or your dog to meet people. Go out and find people with kids and like start having play dates. But so I built with meeting people with my kids. Nap time, I am calling people. Nap time, that's when I'm like, I need to reconnect with this girl. Okay, reconnect with this girl. Okay, I need to reconnect with this girl. I need to see what they're doing, and I hadn't enrolled them yet, but I'm like massaging that relationship, talking, like trying to find a need, and then bring up Isagenix. So I did that during nap time. I would put on one movie during the day. That's like a 2-hour movie. So I'm like, movie's on, getting my Facebook post done, gonna post in the groups. Like it's important, you guys. And I want to say the build in the beginning, if you've got young kids, you are working really hard. I still work hard, but I'm like, you work very hard. And your kids do see a bit of it, but listen, they will benefit and they will see it. And my kids have even said, you know, like, Mom, you're home. Like, I'm home all the time. I can go to their school functions, all the different things. So, but when they're in school, work during school hours. So I try to get like all those things done before they come home. Sometimes I have nighttime calls. Like right now, my husband and my kids are in the room. They're fine. I will say that I still, like, there's no such thing as balance. Every day looks so different. Team calls are on a Monday. Sometimes I'm enrolling a girl at night. Like before this trip, I had 2 nighttime phone calls. My husband dealt with the kids. He does dinner, you know? So you just kind of have that communication with them. Definitely communicate though, because it can get really, really rocky if you don't. That's important. And just say, like, you know, we've had a lot of different wives go to their husbands and say, listen, give me 2 years. Just give me 2 years to really like hardcore build this business. I'm going to be out. Like my husband is so good. He's like, go to a launch party, go to a launch. Like I do launch parties. I drive, you guys. This is the thing about events. When I hear excuses, I'm sorry, I'm just going to go into it really quick. I drove 6 hours to drop my children off, 6 hours to the event, 6 hours to get my children, 6 hours back home. That's how bad I wanted to go to an event. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have my husband like will take off work like a little bit early to get home. You know, just, yeah. And I'm so grateful because I have such a supportive husband, but like you guys need to do the things. I would, if my husband wasn't supportive, I would drag my kids and bring an iPad and bring them to the event. We've had a lot of team members bring their babies with them, bring their children with them. There's no excuses. I'm like, you got to go.
What about those you know, we've got single moms.
Oh, bring your kid.
You know, the kids bring them.
Oh,
like,
bring your children.
You've got single moms. I've seen them.
Oh yeah. And my friends who bring their babies, like you'll see my husband in a corner with a baby. Like my husband will always have a baby. So yeah, there's no excuse.
What has Isagenix allowed you to do as a family that if you didn't, what would you be doing if you weren't doing Isagenix?
Oh my gosh, that's a terrible question. Like, I don't even want to think about that, but.
No, it's good.
Yeah. So I would be so I was a hairstylist before. And I was hand making, crafting things to sell them on Etsy and like sell them online to try to make money. So I can see myself probably I was struggling to make that work, but I probably would still be there. And maybe a part-time job, something like that. There's no way we would have been able to purchase a home. There's no way we'd be able to have the cars that we have. There's no way we'd ever have the trips that we've had. We went to South Africa, we went to Maui, like my husband travels all the time. There's no way we would be able to do that. We're living in San Diego. There's no way we'd have that. So, I mean, my whole life would look very different. We'd be living in a very small apartment with mice living in the walls.
Yeah.
I got a really scary
Can you guys relate to that? And even if this is not your story, there are people in your life that you know that this is their story and they need you to rescue them. So you need to rescue yourself and then rescue them. All right.
But you need to paint that picture for them.
How do you vision cast? How do you plant those seeds?
Yeah. So when I'm sharing with people, I will say, like, you know, you're figuring out like what their pain point is, right? Like whatever their issue is, and just saying, well, what if that bill wasn't there anymore? What would you be doing? What if you could be home with your husband at night? What if he wasn't working? Like my husband was working till like 11 o'clock at night. I mean, I'm not, why?
You're the best.
It's true. It's true. It's like, what if you guys could have date nights? You could afford that. What if you didn't have, you know, a boss dictating when you had to come in or when you didn't have to come in? What if, you know, asking the what if questions and saying, I can show you a better way. Do you want to see this better way? I have, even if it hasn't happened to you yet, right? Hasn't happened to you yet. Listen, my girlfriend has built this insane income by doing this in the pockets of her life with her children running around. And I want to do that too. I'm going to do that. And I want you to come along with me. We can travel together. The way that I got my best friend and a few other friends, I'm like, listen, I don't want to be traveling alone. I want to write off my trips and go to these places with you. Like, let's go, let's do this together. And that's what really like got her excited. So really speaking people's like language, but you've got to cast that vision and say, well, tell me the heaviest bill on your heart right now. What is stressing you out? That car payment, that beater car. Don't you want a car that's reliable for the children that you have? You know, one of my girls, she couldn't afford diapers, you guys. Diapers. And I was like, she couldn't afford a system. I was like, listen, you've got to get your system. Get your system. We're going to get these diapers paid for. You have to start sharing this immediately so you have everything paid for.
Before they get it.
She has a mortgage paid for. I think it was year 1. Her mortgage is paid for. Every single, and it's been now 7 years that she's been doing
Who's
this.
that?
You wouldn't know her.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
She's
right.
never gone to an event. But yeah, she has, well, I mean.
Okay, I've
she's
got another
older.
question. What do you do in your day? What does your day look like?
Okay,
Because these guys
constantly.
get sick of hearing about what my day
Yeah.
looks like.
Constantly connecting with people. So my typical day, drop my kids off and I
In person?
get out of the car. I get out of the car when I pick them up. And it's funny because mothers don't do that. So they sit in the car line. I'm like, why are they sitting there? It's number one, a waste of gas and a waste of time. It's quicker to get your kids. So I started doing this at preschool and then all of the schools my kids have been in. It's like 4 different schools now. And I get out and other moms are starting to get out with me. And they're like, hey, what's up? I'm like, oh, hey, what's your name? Who's your kid? So getting out, because you're going to meet these people and they're going to be, oh yeah, our kids are friends in class. Oh, fun. So getting out of the car, sporting events. So signing your kids up for sports because you're going to meet the parents, you're going to meet the moms, you're going to sit
And if
there.
you don't have kids, go to your grandkids.
Grandkids, or even like, gosh, really just anything that you really love to do. You can just meet people, like sitting on an airplane. I've enrolled so many people on airplanes. You guys, there's time to talk and meet people. But okay, so then I'll go to Pilates and there's different classes I'll go to. So I'll usually text a friend. If there's a friend that you haven't talked to in a really long time and you need to catch up, let's plan a walk. Let's plan a walk at the beach. Let's plan a bike, whatever. You need to go and spend time with that person to
Do something.
like rekindle that, like, and so then they can want to know more about, I don't know how to explain that, but you're like prospecting them.
Yeah, well, it's just building the relationship.
You build in the relationship and they're like, oh yeah, man, you're doing really well, aren't you? And they always ask, I'm like, yeah, why aren't you doing this with me? You know, so it comes up. And then, so Pilates doing that. And then I'll do some coaching calls. So, you know, trying to like mentor people depending on whatever their goals are, you know, figuring out, okay, how can we get you to this goal? How can we get to that goal? Being strategic on Instagram and on Facebook, messaging people the happy birthday messages, messaging people on Instagram, like finding a specific hashtag. I'll give you a tip. You know, if your market, whatever your niche is, like moms, or my husband is like hunters, you know, click on that hashtag and then start messaging these people and saying, oh my gosh, your kids are so beautiful. Oh my gosh, your style is gorgeous. I have been actually hashtagging Australia and talking to people on there. And I'm like, oh, where should I go? And people are talking to me, but they're traveling families. That's a specific, very highly niched, you know, hashtag. So I'm meeting all these people and it's a really great way, to get people around. But also I belong to a church. So I go to different Bible studies and I've enrolled everyone in all of our Bible studies. So it's taken time, of course, because you're building relationships. But, and that's also why I bounce around from Bible studies to Bible study. Like we spend like, you know, a good 4 to 6 months somewhere. And then once we've enrolled all of them, it honestly happens. We just leave to go to another one, you know, so it works out, still in the same church, all that different stuff. So very plugged in with those types of things, but you're going to meet people with whatever you love to do. You're going to meet people. Even volunteer work. If that's like your heart, you guys, you're going to meet other volunteers and they're going to want to know what you have. They're going to want that and you can enroll them that way. But I don't know. My day is always different. Coaching people, doing those 14-day shreds, like posting in the group, commenting in the group, telling people, hey, you've got really great results. When are you going to post on Facebook? So, yeah.
All right. So my next question for you is, I've asked you about your day. Has anyone got a question?
Rent a kid. You could rent a kid for sure. Babysitting, nannying. She's like, rent a kid.
Okay. How do you create consultants? Because who wants to know how to create consultants? Yeah. Who
They're all
wants more? And a lot of these guys are bringing in product users just because they have amazing results.
Mm-hmm.
We're really working. So 2 questions. The first question is, how do you create consultants?
Right.
And then the next question is, how do you talk to people about the business? Because,
okay.
Yeah. Go.
Okay, so the newest consultant that I made like a week ago, I just asked her flat out, who do you know who will for sure do this with you? Like, who will you bring to a restaurant with you? Who do you know for sure in your life who will do this with you? And she named, I think it was like 5 people. I'm like, okay, great. You're going to put me in a message with all of them, which she loved, by the way. These are coachable people. She loved that. She's like, oh my gosh, you're so smart. You know everything to say. I'm like, no. You're going to learn. When you hear what I say in these messages, you're going to learn. So we put them in a 3-way text, a 3-way Facebook message, a 3-way call, just depending on whatever the person wants and feels comfortable with. So she got me in a message with one of her friends. I answered her questions. She enrolled that night. She's got the ISA Life app, and we showed her how to share the pack. And so anyways, it just works out beautifully. And she enrolled her husband. So we knew there was a for sure person, her husband, and then one of her best friends. So consultant is simple, you guys. Don't overcomplicate it. I enrolled my mother and my best friend. Like, simple, okay? And then about the business, like enrolling them for the business.
Having those business conversations, we're running around sort of looking for people to lose 5-10 kilos, do shreds.
Yeah.
We have a lot of campaigns. We all know the products are amazing. What I really want these guys to learn is about having conversations about the income, the finances, and how we can really share the business, the power of residual income and network marketing, because look at you and how much it's changed your life.
I'd say the number one thing is obviously posture. Okay. So I want you guys to carry a different posture because, if you've lost 10 pounds, you're an expert at fat loss. Okay. That is your verbiage. You can say that on Instagram. I'm an expert at helping people lose 10 to 50 pounds, 10 to 100 pounds. I'm an expert, right? We can say that confidently, right? Okay, yes, we need to have the confidence of saying that with this business, this compensation plan. If you have made $10 or whatever
let's ask who's made money. Do this if you've made money.
Okay, you are an expert at making money.
Look at them.
Yeah, you've
all made money.
An expert at making money in the pockets of your life. Or even sometimes you're like, how did I make that money? I don't even know, because cycles just come in. So you're an expert at residual income. And I want you to carry yourself so strongly, posture up and say,
get up straight in the chair.
Can show you how to make money while you're sleeping. I'm an expert at helping people. I am an expert at helping people make money while they sleep. Are you interested? So here's some verbiage that I did with actually people who scared the freaking living daylights out of me, but I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. So I voice message. I really truly believe in voice messaging because they can hear the music in your voice. They also, it's funny, a lot of them are like, oh, I didn't even know this feature was there. Like nobody knows. So I voice message and I say, okay, this one girl specifically from high school, she was popular, beautiful girl, very influential, has a great network. Her husband is in sales, and she was pregnant with her second daughter, okay? So I voice message her. I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, you are stunning. You just keep getting better with age. You just look amazing. Hey, when do you have 5 minutes? I would love to chat with you. I have something that I think would be absolutely perfect for you, but I don't know. And I want you to just that's up to you, but I would just love to chat with you when you have a few minutes. Here's the thing. And I told Greg and Rachel this the other day because people will get on the phone with you if you say, hey, when do you have 5 minutes to chat? I have something to chat with you about. They think you're like in danger and they will call you right away. I had a few girls be like, wait, are you okay? I'm like, oh yeah, girl, I'm fine. I just had 5 minutes and I wanted to actually share something with you. I don't know if you know. So like this was the posture that I used because I am a 6-figure earner. So I'm like, I don't know if you know, but like I've made a significant amount of money in the pockets of my life. And I've helped so many others make multiple 6 figures as well. I don't really know why I've never shared this with you. I'm honest. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm intimidated by you, but I don't know why I've kept this amazing gift from you. So I was wondering if you had time to get on Zoom, so chat where I can actually show you how I've built a multiple 6-figure income while being home with my babies. Are you going to be home with your babies, or are you going to go back to work? So asking them these questions, and you guys, all of them got on Zoom with me. Actually messaged some men because I was like, these guys are businessmen. Like, they're entrepreneurs. And I'm like scared of them. And so I'm like carrying myself different. I'm like, listen, if this is good enough for me, why isn't it good enough for you? And it's blessed me so much. I have to tell you, and it's okay if you say no, but I need you to know the full story before I decide that for you. So I just said all that. And one girl said, my dad always told me never to turn down a good opportunity. Like, you know, she was like, okay, I'm all in. What do you got to tell me? So being bold and knowing that they're not saying no to you. Like, no, I don't like Rachel. No, it's not about that. It's just, they don't know enough, and
It's like the apple
timing.
pie.
Yeah, it's just timing. And that's okay. But so many of those calls went so well. I had 2 people say that they were too busy, but they'd love to another time. Nobody, not one person said, stop messaging me. I was just so nice and so genuine. And I was like, look, I just would love to have a business conversation with you. And I also, you can backdoor this, I also complimented them. So with my CPA, I said, you are so successful, and you have built this business by yourself. You have this incredible business, and I admire you. I was wondering if you could help me out with something. You know, you say that. I was wondering if you could help me out with something. You know so many people, and so many people like know you and trust you. Would you be able to tell me who you know who is driven, who understands second streams of income? Because it's kind of dissing them. Like, you're like, who understands like a good opportunity when they see one, who understand, or who is motivated and driven, and you know, you're saying all the qualities that you want in a business person, yeah. And maybe something that you're not, like organized, you know, whatever. And they're like, well, what is it? What about me? And you're like, sure, I'll tell you about it. But I didn't know if you. And then they enroll because they're like, yeah, I want to lose weight and I want to feel good and I can share this with people. So you could do the backdoor approach. Like, hey, who do you know? Actually, like, I need somebody in South Korea. So I need to know who you know. You've got a great network, and I'd love for you to connect me with somebody. You guys, here's what I want to ask you. I went to this event and I don't know if I was telling you about this. Oh, you guys, I went to this event. And this woman, this multiple 7-figure earner, not in network marketing, but in other things, she said, get highly obsessed. Get obsessed with getting, like, let's say 100 enrollments in 30 days. 100 enrollments, okay? This is like ridiculous, but this is supposed to be ridiculous. Get obsessed with that. She said, and this was for a resume. She was trying to get a job, and she's like, you know, I could put 10 resumes out a day. She's like, I challenged myself to contact 100 people a day.
Oh my God, that's probably freaky.
It is, because she became obsessed.
She was obsessed with the result, hey?
She also, but here's the thing, she was, with her resume, she was looking for a job that she wanted. She was basically interviewing them, right? She was like, I want to choose the job that I want. I'm going to do these interviews, but she got highly obsessed. Yeah, so with real estate, think about this. You guys, if we, in any job, like, you want to be excellent. You want to be excellent at everything. So why wouldn't you go above and beyond and say, I want to reach out to this many people, whether it's in the phone book and you're like giving it a go, whatever, talking to strangers. I'm going to talk to 30 strangers today and just say hello, challenge yourself. It's going to get you out of your comfort zone, and you may have really great conversations while you do it. Or gift things to people, gift things to strangers, and you may, have incredible, but get highly obsessed with that, because if you are messaging 1 or 2 a week, you're going to get like 0 results. But if you're highly obsessed and you're messaging 10 a day, 100 a day, like this is the thing, you're going to get massive results, right? Like, she's a multiple 7-figure earner in the job that she's in. And so because she became obsessed. So I don't know, like, I think that we kind of treat this as like a ho-hum thing, when it's like, why are we doing that? This is a real business.
Full-time, treat it full-time.
Like, it's not a joke. Like, if I, as a hairstylist, I had to promote myself. I had to tell people I'm the best. I'm the best and I need all of your friends. You need to tell every single person about me because I need to make money. Like you're going to go above and beyond, right? So I think it's critical that you guys really carry yourself in a way that you're like, I am the best and I'm an expert at helping people burn fat. I'm an expert at getting people money while they're at home or while they're traveling or while they're sleeping. That's what I do. Do you want that too?
Wow. Where's all my experts at?
Everyone is. If you've made $10, you're an expert.
Yeah.
See, 80 calls in a day.
Yep. Yeah, that's Charmaine. She's a rock star.
Because that's going for it. That's your job. This is your job, you guys. Or maybe it's not, but like
even if you're working part-time, you can still give this your part-time hours. You give it your everything. It's the passion. Who's fired up?
who's going to message some people tonight?
Who's got some, who literally has gotten so much?
She's messaging people right now.
Yeah.
Bronwyn and
that's
Sally.
What, yep, they're sitting next to each other.
Oh, they are?
And do you all know what to say? When have you got 5 minutes to chat? That is it.
Mm-hmm. And you're there for, so when you talk to them, hey, I've called you for a reason. Once you get that 5 minutes, say, I've called you for a reason.
She's good.
I've called you for a reason. Like, I'm not playing around. I only have 5 minutes or I only have 10 minutes. I don't want to waste your time or mine. But I love you so much. I have to tell you this.
I need to share what I'm doing with you.
Yeah.
It may or may not be for you, but hey.
And you can say, I'm sorry too. Be like, I'm so sorry that it took me 7 years to get the confidence to call you. Like, that's my fault, right?
How good's that?
Like, I'm so sorry that I took this away from you and you could have been building this with me, you know? Like, that's kind of mean.
What about these people that haven't had success straight away that have been around for a while?
Oh, dude, I utilized everyone else's success story.
Yeah.
So I went and found the recognition from like Rachel's story.
How do you introduce me? Or how do you talk about me to the friends in the park that will never ever meet me?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I mean this in a humble way, but
Yeah.
all you guys can grab this story.
Yeah.
You probably need to hear how Meredith tells her mum or something, or like the friends in the park.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, listen, like this girl's real. Like I'm very like
Passionate.
down to earth. Yeah, I'm passionate, but I'm also down to earth like girlfriend. So like there's this girl. Like I actually know her. She's a human. Like I've got her, like I've got a selfie with her, you know? And I'm like, she has made $1 million. $1 million. Like, or you could even, like, depending on who you're talking about, whatever. $1 million. You guys sharing this nutrition. Like, I already love the nutrition. Everybody needs it. And so saying, I would love, I don't know if she has time because I know she's so busy, but I would love to get you on the phone with her if you want to just like hear her story. And I've done that with my upline with a lot of men because the men typically want to know the money. How much money did you make last week? I want to know how did you do? Like they actually need to have that conversation because they don't really believe it. From a female, I don't know. It's like, I can say it till I'm blue in the face, but talking to a man. So yeah, so I'm edifying this person and saying, she has coached me or she is coaching me and I can't even believe it. I'm so excited and she'll coach you too. Do you want to go to the top with me? Do you want to do this with me? Like, how fun is this? We can travel together. We can go family trips. Like I cast a vision to my friends because I know what they want and they all want to travel with their families. So I don't know, like I would edify the person, maybe find an article. Like there's a lot of different articles too. If there's like a single mom, I go to ISA FYI, type in, what did I type in? Single mom? I think single mom. And a girl, Amelia's story pops up, military, ISA FYI, into Google, ISA FYI, then like space, and then you can type in any keyword. Policemen, firemen.
They have enough stories within themselves.
Yeah.
Look at this group. We need to start utilizing them.
Yeah, connect them with somebody else and say, oh my gosh, can I add you to my group? Like, I really want to show you these stories, or can I put you in a 3-way Facebook message? My girlfriend's going to share a story. Obviously, you've gotten there to that point, but yeah, like I would be edifying people.
All right. What do you guys reckon? Let's roll? Yeah? All right. Thank you, gorgeous.
Yep. Just sweating over here, getting too excited.